And we're back. So what are we talking about here with personal vision? If you remember where we left off previously, we left off talking about organizations being made up of individuals. And so individuals should have their own personal vision, which brings us to today. So what is a personal vision? A personal vision is that result you're looking for in the future. It's an image of the future that you desire. It's kind of that destination point on the horizon. And the vision should have a sense of purpose. So if it doesn't have a sense of purpose or a reason for being, then pursuing your vision becomes pointless. What you're looking at is really kind of a guiding light on the horizon to draw you towards, or to illuminate what path to take. And without that, you may end up wandering around aimlessly. So developing a personal vision clarifies your personal purpose, and it creates your desired future. It's about empowerment, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. Without a personal vision, how can you commit yourself? And how can you commit to yourself? So we're looking at being able to be accountable to ourselves and what it is that we're trying to do within our own lives, but also learning how we're able to contribute to the level that we're designed to. And so there's a couple of questions to answer, which is where are you going, what are you trying to achieve, and why aren't you there yet? But in order to do that, there are a number of steps that we're going to dive into now. Alright, so what result are you after? Where are you going? What is the destination? The what of the destination is your mission. The why is your purpose. So why is that result important? What will that result mean? What is its importance? How will having the result change things for you? And why is that important? This gets back into the values that you hold and the purpose for pursuing and then achieving the result. What we're talking about here is intrinsic motivation as opposed to extrinsic motivation. So people make choices all the time due to external circumstances. Oftentimes they're just reacting to life around them. Many times they're not at all committed. Now we see this a lot in life. You'll see it in people jumping from job to job. You see it in the dating scene, especially with things like Tinder. Swipe right, swipe left, and then after you've swiped right and both people have swiped right and you're out on a date, people are still swiping because they're not necessarily satisfied with what they have. It's just kind of an opportunity that's in front of them, not something they're deeply committed to. You see it in the divorce rate. You see it even in things like gym memberships. Like, they see something in front of them, you see an awesome coupon on Facebook, and so you hop in and you join the gym, and then you end up not going for month after month after month, but you're still paying that fee because you weren't committed to the decision. It sounded good at the time, you hopped into it, but it's not something that deeply resonates with you, that you're deeply committed to. Diets, very similar. Personal budgets, very similar. Spending habits, very similar. So we see all the symptoms of these things. We see all the symptoms of lack of commitment. But what do you do about it? So you're looking at making choices according to your values and your purpose, and not just your external environment. You're looking really at what result you're trying to achieve and setting that as your mission. Deciding what you care about and taking a more intentional path. Something that's more genuine, something that's more authentic, so that you can be more committed. And this can lead to genuine care. So when you find people that have a sense of genuine care, they're naturally committed. They're doing what they want to do. They're full of energy. They're full of enthusiasm. So when people are like that, you're not getting necessarily the same symptoms with people that you're getting when they have a lack of commitment, when they don't know where they're going, when they're not personally driving to achieving certain results. When people are committed, they persevere even in the face of frustration and setbacks. So this actually requires a person to choose. Now, making decisions for many people is scary because it closes off doors and opportunities. But without choosing and closing those doors, it's not possible to open up the new doors. So you have certain opportunities where you are right now, and to make a choice closes all the doors to those opportunities because you've made a decision. And now you get to move forward into another situation where there are new opportunities, so you can make another choice. And a lot of people, they become afraid because they have this fear of missing out on the other choices they could have made. However, there's also the fear of not being able to make other choices. So people really become stuck in a level of indecision. But without closing those doors, you just really can't open up the doors to a new reality. So people really need to start to get the awareness that not making a choice is a choice for the status quo. The other thing is that even if you choose the status quo by not making a choice, change is right around the corner. Change is coming. So you can pretend like it's not going to come. You can try to fight it, but it's coming. So when you have a result that you're trying to achieve, it gives you a way to be able to proactively make choices rather than react to the change around you. So what's the roadmap? What do you got to do? Well, if you look at the map here, you'll see there are 5 boxes, and most people are focused on the bottom 2. So they're focused on strategy, like how to make more money, how to lose weight, how to attract the mate of your dreams, how to raise awesome kids, etc. They have the goal that they want to achieve, and then they're looking at the strategy on how to do it. But oftentimes, again, they're just responding, or they're reacting to situations. The kid got a bad grade, so now you're trying to figure out how to fix it. Your car broke down and you don't have the money to get it fixed. So now you're trying to make more money. So there are situations that people are reacting to rather than developing the rest of the map here. So I really focus on looking at the core values, looking at what picture or the vision that you want to see in your life, and then understanding why that's important from day one. That way you can start to respond to opportunities rather than react to circumstances. And what I see with a lot of people when I work with them is that it really helps to develop clarity. It helps to improve communication so it's able to be talked about, and also fosters commitment. A lot of people are then able to go and find organizations to join or attract people to them to help them to achieve their vision because they're working on a common purpose. There's a shared common purpose, there's a shared vision, there's a shared idea of what they want to see in the world, and then they're able to create some synergy to move forward. I'm getting ahead of myself because this is all group stuff. Let's focus on individuals. First things first, values. All right, so this is not a complete list of values. This isn't all the values ever in the world. These are just some values. It's just an image that I found. I grabbed it. I stuffed it in here. Deal with it. If there are values here that you want, you add to it. Feel free to put things in. Whatever you want as a value, just stick it in there. It's going to be fine. But the exercise is to, of the values, either the ones that are here or the ones that you insert into here, find 10 that are most important to you. And then you're going to narrow it down. You're going to narrow it down to 5. And then you're going to narrow that down to 3. And then you're going to narrow down to the most important one of the 3. And that's going to be the most important value. Now that's going to be the value that all other values should kind of work around. And you can kind of play it like a puzzle. You can keep sticking things in until you find one that fits. And then after that, you're going to go back. So once you've got the one most important value, now you're going to start adding that back in the other 4. So you're going to say, okay, then this is my second most important value, and my third most, and my fourth most, and my fifth most, and that gives you kind of a level of priority, and then you can start taking those values and kind of putting them in a word cloud, I guess, and looking to see, what that really says. Like, what does it speak to? Where is it pointing you? What does it say about you? What does it say about what you're trying to achieve or what you want or what you'd like to see? What's the general overall idea of all of those values when put together? So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little abstract. I'm trying to make it as tangible as possible. I gave you a doggone image, but that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get some values and anchor them to yourself. Just give yourself a little bit of mooring as you move forward. All right, now we're into the what section. And if you had trouble with the values section, then you could just skip ahead. You could just skip to this section. Do the what section first. What is it that you're trying to achieve? So you look at these different areas of your life. You look at the faith and the family and the finances and the fitness and the friends and the fun and the future, and just kind of dive into it. And what I did was I put together some example questions. So these are not all the questions. In fact, these are not even many questions that I use personally. But I'll tell you what. If we get 100 likes on this video, because if we get 100 likes on this video, I will link to the 2 exercises that I personally use. And then one of them is an ideal self assessment, and the other one is a document that I made that goes much more deeply into some questions that can help to spur your ideas about the 7 areas and look for some gaps. But go ahead, pause the video, read over the questions, get a good idea of what that is. Okay, so now that you're done with that, you should have a pretty good idea of what it is you want to see in the future. And now we're going to dive into purpose. This bridges the gap between what it is that you want to see and what the values are. So for the purpose, I use the 5 whys, and it goes a little something like this. You can see it in the image, but we're going to run through it. Okay, so the goal is wanting to own your own business. So why do you want to do that? And you can see it allow him to have greater control over how he spends his time. So that's kind of time freedom. That's a value there. So what does he want? He wants to own his own business. Why does he want it? Because it's going to give him time freedom, and that's a value. And why does he want to do that? To have more flexibility in his life, so that gets more into freedom. And then why does he want to do that? Because he wants to be able to work from home. Okay, great. And that's very specific. He wants to be able to work, so he wants to find a way to contribute, but he doesn't want to be tied to the office. So really what I'm getting here is I'm getting a lot of, time freedom, a lot of flexibility, a lot of freedom, a lot of being able to live life on your own terms could be a value, or could be a purpose. As we move forward down to the 4th why, it's because we find out that he has someone at home he wants to spend time with. It could be a son, it could be a daughter, it could be a dog. We don't know, because it just says son or daughter. But you'll see here that there are relationships that are involved. And then we come down to the final why. It's because supporting family is the most important thing to him. So now we dive way back into values. So now we can start to see where having the value of having a family and being able to contribute to your family, being able to support your family are important underlying values for him, which is a purpose, the reason behind why he wants to have the result, which is owning his own business. So when you start to go through this stuff and connect it all together, what you're going to see is we first looked at what the values were. Okay, what are the values? But if you get stuck there, then just skip ahead and figure out what it is that you want to do. So what's the picture you're looking for? If you want to have a Lamborghini, cool. If you want to live in a house in the hills, awesome. If you want to have a private jet, cool. If you want to have a close, tight-knit, loving family, that sounds amazing. If you want to have all the friends in the world, cool. If you want to be like Tom from MySpace and have like every friend in the entire world, that sounds great. If you want to be like the most fit and robust person in the entire world, kind of like Superman or Superwoman on steroids, all these outcomes are fantastic. Whatever you want to do. But choose what that is. That way you can respond to life rather than react to circumstances. Then you move into the values that are important to you, and you can start asking questions about why do you want these particular results, which will start to tell you more about the purpose, which is the bridge between the values and the outcome. The only thing left after that is to figure out how in the world you're going to do that. And that could be, you're a rugged individual and you want to do that on your own, or it could be that you want to join with others to create a group or a team to be able to achieve things in a more mutually beneficial way and to create win-win-wins. But I hear everyone talk about just very, very vague results they're looking for. People are like, oh, I want to be healthy, or I want to be happy, or I just want to have more money. But they're not specific at all. And I know that gets into goal setting, but before you can really set about achieving anything, you've got to become a lot more specific on what it is that you want. And in order to have any level of resiliency to be able to make it through difficult times, you should have a deep sense of purpose about why that's important. I just see those two things really being integral to success if you're trying to move forward in an environment that is constantly changing. And then, we're just back to where we were before. So we just dove through personal vision. It was just really, like I said, it's really early cursory look. And if we get 100 likes on this video, then I will link to some of the documents that I personally use. From there, we will start looking at what it takes to create a shared vision for an organization or for a team, and being able to, now that you're working with people who have a level of genuine care, it should be a lot more simple to be able to drive forward towards a shared vision that's going to be able to be mutually beneficial to everyone. So you can start to get to the win-win-win. That's another thing I want to talk about, the win-win-win. People always talk about this 360 win, but it's really hard to have a 360 win until you have a result you're looking for that you're deeply committed to, that is impactful to you and the other party and whoever the third win is for. So personal vision is extremely important. That's what you're looking for.